on my second year doing that. So I'm like,
that's the problem with this center of the town. And then we moved to Mount Laurel.
To me, and today is also a great day to see everyone out, and we really appreciate you coming out. I just want to take a moment of your time. We have multiple judicial candidates, so in order to be respectful of your time, which we value, I want to say a few words about the positions that are up, and then I want to make sure to recognize the candidates who are here.
2 miles down the road. It's where my husband and I are raising our family, about 8 minutes up the road, and I'm a career prosecutor. I went into this field because I wanted to protect every available resource, but there was no guarantee, and we were able to solve a rape and murder of a 14-year-old child 30 years later when the co-defendant confessed on the stand in our investigative grand jury when I was questioning him as to his role, and allowed us to bring peace to that family and justice 30 years later when they lost their only child. And the reason I bring that up is, if that's not a reminder of why your district attorney can't just be reactive to crimes, they have to be preventative, awareness, but we also have to actively be pursuing anyone who poses a threat to our community. And you have my vow that I'll continue to do that. And I finally just want to talk about generally how important it is for all of us to be successful. Our Court of Common Pleas judges, that's who hears the homicide cases, the child abuse cases, the serious felony robberies. We see the carjackings in the city of Philadelphia. We see the catch and release that Philadelphia has, where violent criminals go in, get bail, come out, and perpetrate crimes in the collar counties. So it's so important that our judicial candidates win, and then it's so important that every single one of us on the Republican road ticket win, because it's a domino effect. If we don't win, our community's not safe. And you're going to hear from our sheriff, who is amazing, career law enforcement. We are so lucky to have him. You're going to hear from.
I have state accreditation, which is really a silver or gold standard in policing, and probably September of 25 we are going to receive national accreditation, which means that we have the platinum policies and procedures in policing. And there's only about 13 in the Commonwealth that have that recognition. Only one other in Bucks County. Anybody want to guess what police department has that in Bucks County? Bensalem. So that's obviously that's where I came from. We started a K-9 unit here, which we didn't have, and I got 2 warrant teams. The men and women up there are fantastic. We have warrant teams. When I came into office here in January, we have about 7,800 outstanding warrants in Bucks County, which meant that people would go before the judges would make a determination, people wouldn't show up for court one way or the other, and then they were wanted. And no one was looking for them. So I said, well, that's ridiculous. We have to get these wanted people because they're not at home watching Netflix, they're out committing more crime. So we got to get them off the street, and we're down right now to about 4,600. So we're really hitting that hard. But I don't really want to talk, that's it. That's it about
in Bob's case, and friends of our kids, our neighbors, all of you. So we've been volunteering our time for the education, and I think the rhetorical question that everybody must ask is school board important to you? Is the education of this community's children important to you? Does it impact your taxes? Yes. Does it impact the way they're going to vote in the future? Yes. Do you know that 2 years ago, I found out from other people in the community that Council Rock was passing around a test, a political identification test. It had 10 questions. The students were asked to rank it from, I believe, 1 to 5, mostly agree, mostly disagree, like we're all aware of. But they were questions like, what do you think of capital punishment? What do you think of abortion? They were all sort of a typical really debated issue, and this is being asked of 7th and or 8th graders. So I thought that needed to stop. So together with Bob and a couple other members, one who's not with us anymore because he lost his election a couple years ago, we got that stopped. Do you also know that juniors in high school last year were forced to watch a Kate Couric interview on the gingerbread person? Gingerbread person, not gingerbread man, not gingerbread woman, gingerbread person. And this was to discuss gender, and that gender and sex are different. That's what high school kids were being presented with. Instead of talking about health, instead of talking about their fitness, and their nutrition, this is what they were looking at. And then they had to, I believe, answer questions for that. Of course, these weren't graded, so it was acceptable to put in front of school kids. So it's really like whack-a-mole, and we are not given information to everything that's out there. I've been asked recently by Republicans.
A couple of comments about that. First and foremost, the data in Northampton is clear. We win if our voters come out. If they come to the polls or mail in a ballot, the Republicans win. So our #1 goal for all the committee people, for all the door knocking we're doing, is get our Republican voters to come out. And that's really what we need to do.
At a board meeting, and I thank him for doing the heavy lifting on the issues, since I'm the new person here. But I do agree with everything Adam said. I do agree with getting the vote out. It's so important. I've been spending some time out with the business community lately, and seeing what they do and getting them to get out and vote. And one of the things that we're both going after the same thing about the zoning and about keeping Northampton great. That's going to be our theme. I hope our theme is we want to keep Northampton great, and you do that by all the things Adam just mentioned. One of the other things I kind of found out, and I know this is supposed to be a serious meeting and everything, but my background, and we didn't get into background too much. I don't think we have to, right? I mean, okay. I hope you know our backgrounds. Long history in business. He has a long history in business. He happens to be the fire chief. Also, I did a lot of community work with Council Rock Basketball Association here in the township. A lot of community work over the past 30 years. And at these meetings that I've been at, I keep getting everybody, like, kind of, as I talk to somebody or talk to a group, I see people in the audience start to laugh. Sometimes smile, like Megan there, and like Kurt, because everybody knows me. Everybody knows me as Joe the ref, okay? I ref basketball in the community for 30 years, and I can't tell you how many times I'm out there, somebody says, oh, I know you. It just happened Wednesday night at the business, Northampton Township business meeting. The lady at Chandler Hall who did the introductions, when we went and introduced ourselves and I told her what I did, she screams, "You're the one, you're the ref. You're the one I gave advice to." I said, I probably didn't want that advice, but thank you. So, so that's how I'm known. I'm going to hopefully use that. I think it's going to help. I know I got some good friends here, Kurt and Megan, and their kids. I ref these wonderful kids right here, the 2 boys. Not the girl yet, I'll have to get you soon. But I ref them, so I see a lot of people in the community that I've ref their kids, their grandkids, and I hope that's going to be a big help, because we are going to win. And, can I mention your name?
Your mic.
And I have to, for the first time in my life, thank the Democrats. I guess what we really need to do right now is to focus on on Buxton. They always say the off-year elections. We have an opportunity with early voting right now to completely level the playing field. So when we do get the opportunity to get that in the mail, to follow through, fill it out, and get it back, and encourage people to vote early. The consternation that we find as committee people at the board of, thank you. The consternation we feel on election day at the polls, or it's predominantly going to early voting and to the mail-in ballots, and that's what we want to try to do. I didn't expect to come up here today to say anything, but to state on election day, what do we have, 60 days left?
44.
44. Time flies. So we have 43 days in a wake-up. Dear friend of mine, Mike Fitzpatrick, used to say that, 44 days in a wake-up. We get up in the morning as committee people at 5:30. We're at the polls by 7. We're there till 8 at night. It's a long day. We'd love to see everybody to show up at the polls, but most importantly, to follow the Republican endorsed ticket as we get into this primary.
I'm also running for auditor this year. This is my third go-round, so I enjoy the position. But most importantly, I would like to encourage anybody who is interested in getting involved on a local level. We've got the judge of elections and the inspector. There's a majority inspector and a minority inspector, and it's real simple. Right now, the petition signing time is past, so we can do a write-in. If you know anybody who's interested, please contact Jason or me or anybody on the committee, and we can help whoever's interested. It's a very, very important. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Liz. All right. Tell you what, we started out with law and order, public safety, our children and education, taxes, auditor. I feel good about that slate of candidates, folks. How about you? Can we get some applause for these folks? It's not an easy job. It's pretty thankless, actually. And these guys work very hard for us and for our best interests. So I want to thank them. I want to thank all of our committee members who work so hard and for the amazing gift baskets that they contributed to this event. Certainly want to thank our sponsors once again. They make a lot of this possible. The hard work that we do, the supporting of these candidates,